All right, so we're basically looking at a typical low side situation then. As you guys can tell, the process of moving this motorcycle from track to street is going to be pretty intensive. So we've already planned on towards the end of the season, we're gonna have to do a video on how to take this thing from track to street, street to track. It's a good time here in the garage, guys. I haven't been killed yet and we're really making some progress. So seems to be an overall pretty good time. So we're just gonna get WD-40 in a rag, wipe it down, and we're looking for ripples and cracks in the powder coat of the frame specifically right now.
Correct.
Okay, because you guys probably know, if the frame's messed up, we're effed, and we don't like being effed.
So what we did is we removed everything necessary so we can lay the engine flat so we can work on the top half of it. So this is one of those things where you don't just wanna stick a tool on it and start turning the motor over with this big ratchet, because you break things.
Right, because remember guys, this is gonna be a race bike, but it's also a street bike.
I mean, this is a 2008? Yep. This is a 2008, so don't kid yourself in thinking that this is some super up-to-date, I'm gonna go racing and win races race bike. This is a track day bike.
Guys, it's been so long since we've filmed, I forgot how terrible that this little hub was. Look at the ribbing, and just for comparison's sake, that's brand new.
Wow, there it goes.
Ow! Ow!
That thing was in there, man.
Watch out, Bo!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Wreck Bike Rebuild Garage. Today we are going back in time, and we're going to get back to work on our CBR 600RR build. It has been quite some time since the last time we put our hands on this build, so what we're going to do first is we're just going to lay everything out, refamiliarize ourselves with the build, and hopefully get into some of the choices of color, design phase, if you will. We need to know what we have, what we need, what needs to go to paint, what needs to go to powder coat, what needs to be ordered. So we have a lot of stuff to do, but first let's just lay everything out, make sure we have a good tally of what's here and what we need. So we're gonna bring everything down, lay everything out. You guys will see this bike pretty much big giant piles of machine laid across the shop. So we're gonna get started, lay everything out, and start our inventory. So I hope you're ready for it. Let's get it done. So now that I'm buried in a pile of little plastic containers and dirty parts, we get to weed through all this stuff and find out what of it is broken, what of it needs to be replaced, what of it is salvageable, what stuff is going for powder coat, what stuff is going to be painted. We've got a lot of stuff in here to dig through, so I got my gloves on because a lot of this stuff is grimy, and it's probably not going to be enough. I'm probably going to have to scrub elbows deep later on, but let's get digging through this pile and see where we're at. All right, so I guess we have our nice, pretty massive list here. There's some stuff that I was able to cross off the list that we have already, as well as some other stuff that I didn't put on it, like hardware and exhaust gaskets, spark plugs. We have all that stuff. This is all really just stuff that we need to complete the build that we really don't have left, or we don't have in-house right now. So it's time to do a little shopping. And then we're gonna have to make a list for powder coat and such. So we're gonna do a little shopping first, and then we'll make a list of what we're gonna have powder coated. Once we know what we're going to buy and what we're gonna reuse, we'll go from there, I guess. This might take a minute, so. All right, everyone, so we have been through the pile. I have gotten to the point where I can take off my gloves because I'm no longer handling dirty stuff. We made a huge list of stuff that is needed for the bike, and then we went through the stuff that we had and crossed off what we had off of the list, and then we went into the internet realm and searched for the rest of the parts that we need to get this thing built. So we're going to get a nice, really big order sent off to our friends over at Revzilla, and then most likely we'll have to send a second list off to our friends over at Mountain Motorsports. So we do have some stuff to order, some time waiting for the parts to arrive, but before the parts arrive, it's probably a really good time for us to break everything down and get it sent off to the powder coater. So while we're waiting for stuff to come in the mail, the powder coat will be getting done at the same time. So next step in the process is we're going to clean all this stuff off. We're going to lay everything out that needs to be broken down for powder coat, and we're going to disassemble and separate and tag and label everything going for powder. So that'll be the next step in this nice fun process. So if you guys are ready, I think we're going to have to clear all this up and start process number 2 for the day. So we'll see you in just a minute. Okay, so here we are back in the shop. We're cleared off the lift right now. I'm about to get into the process of disassembling all of the stuff that needs to go out for powder coat. I have some tires to dismount, a couple of bearings to remove. I have the fork legs to disassemble and clean. We got a nice list of parts ordered. They should be on the way, and we're gonna get all this stuff broken down and off to powder coat as soon as possible. The sooner we get it back, the sooner we put it back together, the sooner we have a finished bike, the sooner one of you guys gets to take it home. So we're gonna go ahead and make a real big mess and then clean it up. And hopefully by the end of this, we'll have a nice clean table covered with parts ready for powder coat. So let's get to work. Okay, so we've got the majority of the parts disassembled that are going for powder coat. 2 fork legs, subframe, part of the linkage for the suspension. These are the chain adjuster blocks for the rear wheel, and then the upper and lower triple clamps. We have new handlebars, levers. We got new rear sets and foot pegs and shift lever brake pedals. Stuff like that is coming new because too much of the stuff that was on this bike was already broken. So instead of getting, one piece together, some new stuff, and almost paying as much for a full set of rear sets, we're just going to get some rear sets. So we still have the tires on the wheels that need to be broken down. We've already pulled all of the bearings out of them, so it's just the tires left. And we'll have to dig through a couple more parts in the bins and make sure that we have everything, so we don't have 2 go-arounds to the powder coater. And so let's knock these tires off and see what else we have left that needs to be disassembled for powder. Okay, so it looks like we've got everything disassembled now, and looks like we got everything disassembled now, ready to head off to the powder coater. At this point, really all we need to do is count and list everything. I'm not going to bore you with that stuff, but if you are taking multiple parts to the powder coater, don't forget to either take a picture, write a list, make sure you know exactly how many pieces there are. It'll help you, it'll help the powder coater, everything will go much smoother that way. So what we have is we have clutch perch, brake master cylinder. This is the clamp for the brake master cylinder. We have the rear sprocket carrier. We have front and rear wheels, swing arm, frame, subframe. We're gonna have the lower fork legs powder coated. some suspension linkage. These are the chain adjuster blocks for the rear axle. And then we have upper and lower triple clamps. So handlebars are going to stay black. We're going to, have some touches of black throughout the bike for accent. So the handlebars will stay black. The levers are probably going to come in black as well. I think we're pretty much done for today. The next time you see these parts, they will be back from the powder coater and all shiny, nicey. You'll be able to see what the colors are then. I guess we'll catch you guys on the next one. If you like this type of content, don't forget to share, like, subscribe. For as little as $5 a month, you could possibly win a freshly reassembled CBR 600RR. So we also have our 300 build, which is still in the process. You could also still win that machine. But I think that's all we have for today. Thank you for sticking around till the end, and we will see you on the next episode. Outro crew. What's going on, fellas, ladies, YouTube peoples? Let's see. I'm going to let you guys guess. I don't know if we've said anything. I don't think we've said anything on there. I'll let you guess what the color scheme is going to be. It'll be 2 colors. I'll give you that much. Well, let's call it black will be the accent color, the third color. And tell us what you think the colors are going to be. Don't forget to put OC in your comments so we know it comes from you, the lovely Outro crew people that make it to the very end of the video. We love you long time. Have a great day.